Guys, I'm sure you've heard the news. The NBA is off to a horrific start with one of their head coaches and players all involved in an FBI sting in regards to sports gambling. Ugh.
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. As the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury, but for integrity.
How many times, for one incident after another, have I said, Trump is coming? He's coming. I'm going to say it on national television again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be there, looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl, disrupting things. Big night for the NBA. Wembanyama put on a show. That has now been smeared because we're talking about this story.
Yeah, down the street. By the way, this was so wild. Stephen A. Smith, the sports commentator, suggested that this was revenge from the president for all the kind of left-wing activism of the NBA. Your response to that, 15 seconds.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
That was also one of the dumbest things that I've ever heard as well. Stephen A., what are you talking about? Stephen A. Smith, he's been trying so hard to play the centrist role. He just comes off as disingenuous to both sides. What are you talking about? Watch out for Trump. You know, it's interesting. Stephen A. Smith has been talking about he has future plans of potentially, maybe one day running for president. The other day, he came out and he spoke out against Jasmine Crockett and her unprofessional behavior. Jasmine Crockett is a representative out of North Texas. And he said her behavior was unacceptable and is unbecoming for somebody of your position. And it came off as ratchet. It's kind of ghetto. Everybody came for him. All of Black TikTok and everybody came and said, Stephen A. Smith is wrong for saying this, blah, blah, blah. He was 100% correct because Jasmine Crockett is an embarrassment. She's embarrassing. She doesn't carry herself in a professional manner. As somebody who is an elected official should be representing constituents. She does not do that. Nonetheless, he ended up caving and releasing a public apology, apologizing for ever criticizing her. Like, what are you doing? As a leader, people want you to be able to stand on your own too. And in the face of criticisms and the naysayers, you're going to stand on your own too and stand up for what you claim you believed in.
You do not see something like this happen. Even when the scandal came down the pike involving Tim Donaghy, the former referee for the NBA, you didn't see the director of the FBI having a press conference about it. But that's what we saw this morning. And to me, it comes down to this. Trump is coming. He's coming. It's not hyperbolic. It's not hyperbole. I'm dead serious. He's coming for the National Football League. Why you think this whole Bad Bunny thing and the Super Bowl halftime show is an issue? The NBA, and conveniently, this comes down the pike after opening night for the NBA season on ESPN. The veracity and the substance of the case itself, that has to be determined and that has to bear out. And we have to keep our eyes and ears to the grind about that to decipher, how significant this is. But there's no question that it's serious. And if you're talking about an illegal gambling operation that was taking place, whether it be poker games or anything else, don't just look at the players. Look at who they're connected to. As a person who loves the NBA, who loves Adam Silver, who had love for David Stern, God rest his soul, who knows an abundance of people associated with the NBA, I know that there's no way, in my heart of hearts, I firmly believe, rather, there's no way they would be remotely associated with such a thing. They take these things very seriously. But when it comes to Trump, this is not about that. This is about the integrity of the league. This is about impugning their integrity. This is about making things a bit messy and inconvenient. And whoever has to suffer, so be it. And why? Because people came after him. I've said before, vengeance, retribution. The man ain't playing. And this is not me casting aspersions, making judgment, or doing anything on anybody's side. I'm just telling you what I know. The man ain't playing. It's not like some superstar was named in all of this, y'all. This is Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier. But it didn't stop them from having a press conference at 10 a.m. to make sure that ABC had it, and First Take had it, and the sports world had it, to let you know what's coming down the pike, because he's coming. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just giving you the message. I'm telling you what I know, meaning what has been told to me. Not by him, because I don't talk to him, and I don't agree with him, and I didn't vote for him. But you must understand, this is the climate. He ain't messing around.
Of course, I got to remind you guys, I didn't vote for him. Just so I don't lose my target demographic of sports media. I didn't vote for Trump, guys. I got to remind you guys every single time, I didn't vote for him. Stephen A., we get it. You're getting paid $100 million from Disney. You don't want to mess up your Disney bucks. We got it. Thank you for reminding us every single time. What on earth does this have to do with Trump? And so, number one, does the FBI have to be a respecter of persons? This made a press conference, but it's Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups. There's not like a superstar or anything like that. Why would we care if it's a superstar? What we're doing is we're nipping an issue at his butt that's going to, of course, have roots that take us deeper into the NBA. This is corruption that's entrenched within the game. This could potentially be one of the biggest sports busts of all time if we're able to target the network and find out who are all involved. It could be referees again, like Tim Donahue, or it can be more coaches like Chauncey Billups, or what caliber of players. It could be top players, bottom players. It doesn't matter. The FBI is not a respecter of persons. It doesn't have to be an A-list NBA player before it makes a headline. Everything you said was absolutely lunacy. None of it makes any sense. Good job to Kash Patel, of course. Like I said, I think this goes a lot deeper. I think there are more coaches involved. I think there's a lot more players involved. The only thing, like I said, that was shocking me was, of course, Terry Rozier is a player who's made over $100 million in his lifetime. You wouldn't expect him to engage in sports betting because it's like, in totality, it's pennies to you. It makes more sense like last year when Porter from Toronto, the Toronto Raptors, got caught in sports betting. He was like a G Leaguer, bounced around the G League. I'm getting a minimum contract. It makes more sense because that's more money for them. Like, you would actually need it. But somebody who's made over 100 mil? Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, don't get involved in politics, man, because this is absolutely atrocious. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, and subscribe.